Hello everyone, welcome to our video tutorial this year. This is the very first edition of our video tutorial this year, and we're so glad that you're here with us. Thank you for always liking our videos. Thank you for always commenting on our videos, and thank you for subscribing to our YouTube channel. We want to appreciate you for sharing these videos with those who are in need of it everywhere. Thank you always. And we welcome you again into our video tutorial this year. And this is the very first edition of our video tutorial this year, and we hope to give you the best of video tutorials in filmmaking this year. This week we are starting with an experiment, and the experiment is with the use of egg, and we are starting with the experiment of light behaviors on a particular subject. How does a light behave on a particular subject? And that is what we are starting with this very yeah, let's go into it. Thank you. Today we want to talk basically on an experiment. We want to look at an experiment of how our light behaves on our subject using egg. So what should be the behavior of your light when you put on the light on your subject? How should your light behave? You remember that we've talked about so many types of light. In some past video tutorials, we've discussed about the forms of light, the source of light, the type of light that we have. We'll talk about the key light, we'll talk about the field light, the backlight, the background light. We'll talk about the practical light and so many other light that you have to beautify your image, to get cinematic look on your picture. Now today we want to look at this experiment using an egg. The very first form of light that we are looking at now is a key light. Now, the key light is positioned on this very subject, which is the egg. The key light is positioned on this very subject, the egg. And if you look at it, the key light is the only source of light that we have discussed that it gives us, it has a noticeable direction. The key light is the only light that has a noticeable direction. You can see that, you can see the direction where the light is coming from by the throwing of the shadow of the egg on this side. So we can decipher, we can get where this light is coming from the point of the shadow. So we all know that the light is coming from this side of the camera. We all know that the light is coming from the left side of the camera. So now, with this, all of us understand that the behavior of this very light, which is the key light, number one is that it produces a very hard shadow, very harsh shadow. The shadow is always harsh. The direction of the light is always revealed. The direction of the light is always revealed, and the light shapes the image. The light shapes the image. And if you know that if the key light is not here, if the key light is not here, there is no image shaped. We can see that there is no image shaped when the key light is not there. But the moment the key light comes up, we can see there is an image on our set. So it is the key light that shapes your image. It is the key light that gives us the look that we want on the image. It is the key light that gives us the look that we want on the image. Now, apart from the key light, we also remember that we said about the field light and the behavior of that field light. Let's look at the field light. How does it work? How does the field light comes up on our image? Now, when a key light is positioned, this is what you have. When a key light is positioned, this is what you have. Now, a field light when it's positioned, this is what you have. Now, you could see that the field light produces it also produces. You remember that we discussed on this set, that you discussed in some of the past of our video tutorials, that when you position light, when you put on any light, every light has its own shadow. We've discussed that vividly on this very video tutorial, past video tutorials, that every light will always create its own shadow. The key light creates its own shadow. The field light also creates its own shadow. But what makes the difference between these two shadows is that one is thicker than the other. Now, it shows that the intensity of the light that is coming from the field light is lower than the intensity of the light that is coming from the key light. So from the experience, from the shadow production, you could know, you could tell us that we could understand that the light that is coming from the key light is harder than the light that is coming from the fill light. But in most cases, for you to say you have light correctly, your fill light shadow should not be noticeable. So how do you do that? That your fill light shadow is not noticeable, because it is very, very wrong to have multiple shadows on your subject. How do you do that? What you just need to do is to introduce a diffusion. Introduce a diffusion. You can diffuse your fill light. When you diffuse your fill light, the shadow becomes unnoticeable. The shadow becomes unnoticeable, but the light is still there. You could understand that the light is still there by this. Now, you see, when I use my hand to block it, the light is off. But when I remove my hand, you could see that the light is actually on the side that is dark before, but the shadow of such light is not noticeable on the other side of the egg. I hope you understand this. Now, if this one is very much clear, then we can move to the third lighting, the third type of light. The third type of light is the backlight. The backlight. The backlight. The backlight, you also remember that we said the backlight is meant to create sparkles on our subject. The backlight is meant to create sparkles on our subject. This is what backlight does. This is what backlight does. Now, obviously, you can do a lot of things with your backlight. You can reduce the intensity of your backlight. You can make your backlight to be very limited so that the shadow will not be strongly noticeable. And of course, when the shadow of the backlight is a bit noticeable, you know obviously it falls in front of the camera. Most times they are not always obvious in the camera, except you are positioning your subject on the floor like we have it right here. Like you have it right here. Now, this is what your backlight does. It creates sparkles. Can you see that sparkle? When the sparkle is not there, then there is no backlight. But when the sparkle comes in, then there is backlight. So, and you can decide to position your backlight in different angle. Your backlight can be, this backlight is virtually 180 degree to my camera. Is directly in front of the camera. This backlight is directly in front of the camera. You can decide to bring it to angle. You can decide to bring it to like 45 degree angle, 30 degree angle, whatever. So as you keep moving it, the position of the sparkle keeps changing. As you keep moving it, the position of the sparkle of the backlight keeps changing. So as you keep moving it, the position of the sparkle keeps changing. So depending on where you want to position the sparkle around your subject will determine where you will position your backlight. Wherever you want to position the sparkle of the subject will determine where you position your backlight. It's not only that the backlight does the sparkling, the backlight also separates the subject from the background. You remember that. It separates the subject from the background. Now, I hope this is very clear to us. Now, if this is very clear to us, let's do experiment of testing all these forms of light, one after the other, by taking one off and putting the other on. Now, this is the production. This is what the fill light gives us. This is what the fill light gives us. When the fill light is on and there is no other forms of light around, this is what you have. Now, when you don't have the fill light, when it is only backlight that you put on, this is what you have. When it is only backlight that is on, this is what you have. You can as well position your backlight at any angle to the subject. Your backlight can be positioned at any angle to the subject. So this is the final position of my backlight there. So, if that is then clear, let's look also into our key light. Remember, that's where we started from. Our key light alone, when it is our key light alone that we have here, and this is what we have when it is only our key light. And when the three of them are put together, this is what you have on your subject. This is what you have on your subject. This is what you achieve on your subject. I hope this is very clear to us. Now, you have this. This is what you have on your subject. I hope this is clear to us. Thank you. Yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this week video tutorials. It's totally practical this week, and I hope you've learned one or two lessons about how your light behaves when you are lighting your subject. And this is very important when you light your subject, to work on all these very behavior of light, manipulate this very behavior of light for you to get a good look, a cinematic look on your subject when you are lighting. We want to thank you for coming on board again this year for us to see our video tutorials. Thank you for the video tutorial, the past video tutorials you've seen. Thank you for liking them. Thank you for subscribing to our YouTube channel. Thank you for commenting on our videos, and we also thank you for sharing these videos with all those who are in need of it. And we hope that you do much more this year by telling other people that great video tutorials are coming up on this YouTube channel. Yes, I must not forget to tell us that this this week video tutorial was fully sponsored by Carve Initiative. Carve Initiative is a lighting firm set up to solve the problem of lighting in all our filmmakings all around. And if you have a project that you are working upon and you want to experience a good lighting for your film project, you can consult Carve. They are there to give you full lighting equipment and as well as lighting crew for your cinematic lighting of your movie. So we will encourage you to consult them to get the best of lighting you need for your film project. Thank you for coming on board to watch this video tutorial this week. My name is Kunle Adepoju, and we hope to see you next week. God bless you.